Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. Today we'll see if we have to create some adjustment, why we do that. Let's say the goods delivered by us customers did not like them or some got damaged during the transition or logistics. And we need to reduce the amount of that invoice by or increase the amount. Let's say we send few items that got increased by 10% during the transition, or the price will increase, or somehow we want to charge extra from the customer. We'll see both examples in this activity now that how to do that from the customer's invoice. For that, first we have to find our customer invoice. We'll go ahead and we'll say customer reliance. Now we'll go to the invoices and payments section here. If you don't remember the invoice number, then you don't want to type it in search bar. You can come to this section also, go to the invoices and click on an invoice. Let's say this one first, one number 40. We'll go to the customer invoice relation, option 3 dots. And then we'll go to this option called create adjustment. You will see two options. Credit note to the customer means decrease amount due because they are getting benefited, right? Debit increase amount due means we are charging more to them. Got. First example, we'll see how the decrease amount due works and looks like. The total all invoice amount is $200. Now we are decreasing the amount due. We'll go to the adjustment region and we'll say damaged goods here. Now this screen will up and it will say create customer invoice credit adjustment. See, it's bringing that title also. Credit adjustment. Now in the line section, and this option is checked automatically here. Apply adjustment immediately. This works. This checkbox works only when we're decreasing the amount due. But you will see when we'll increase the amount, this option will not come. Because here it's immediately we are decreasing the amount due that we have to charge. Let's say we are changing the amount to 50. Now the amount due would be 150 from the customer. We are decreasing only 50 here. We are reducing the amount by $50. I'll submit here. It will go to the resource level for review and approval. That's fine. Start boxing. We'll go to our inbox. and will approve. This is approved. Now, if you look at this invoice adjustment first, this will have a link to the original invoice also, related invoices. And as well as if you go to the original invoice, that will have a link to this adjustment also here. It will show a field called adjustment and that there will be a link for this invoice adjustment. Now if you see, the invoice amount was 200. Now the amount due is 150 because we have reduced the price by $50. Now let's again go back to the Alliance Hotels and we'll see one example of increasing the amount due. We'll go to the invoices again and we'll pick this one, number 30, where it is $100. Again, we'll click on the related action invoice, customer invoice, and we'll say create adjustment. This time we'll say debit. Increase the amount to, and we'll just say price adjustment here. It will automatically capture the related invoice that you are trying to increase the amount due. Now see, it has graded out. Now let's say you want to increase the amount you buy. 200 rupees or like the 70 rupees, which is 70 rupees or $70. Now if I hit submit, what's the area? What happened to the company? Restrictions defined for this field. What is wrong with this one? It's GC only. Restrictions. What are the restrictions here? No, that is not the case here. I think I know what they're referring to. Let me hit cancel first. But still, if it was, let's see. It should have picked up from the tenant setup. Let's see. The tenant setup are the core things. This applies to entire tenant. Doesn't matter if you have 100 companies here or 200 companies here. We can define some settings at the tenant level itself. For example, if you don't want to define the ID generators by the company level, you just define them here once. And all the companies will pick this format of the invoice numbers. This is like the tenant setup high-level implementation, which is not related to the study session, and you will not also get the concept of it. But debit credit they are taking. Why not the debit one? How come? Gotcha. We'll just say stop and check the store. Oh, this is, you can see, amount is 70 is here. And you have linked to the original invoice also. Now, before we go to the original invoice, let's see the accounting of this adjustment. And we'll look at the debit invoice adjustment also. Accounting. Accounting. What happens when we increase the amount due? It goes AR credit debited to other income. Anytime we use, and anyways, it's a credit that we are getting from the customer. That's why. Now if you go back to the early noise here, remember this was 70 and this was 100. But if you see the amount, you still 100. You see only 270 like other gifts when we decrease the amount due. This is how it works. But overall, how you can recognize that if it is working fine, it will show the balance changes here. In the invoice itself, there is a link to the adjustment. From there, only we can come to know there is a credit adjustment. And we'll see the accounting of debit now. A credit zone. That was credit. This one. And if you see in the little action, accounting, we had given like 50 credit to them. This time other income, because the income is getting reduced. It got debated and AR got debated. Now we'll go back to this. We go to the finance hotels. Noises and payments. We have covered debit credit. Now we'll see some other features of the invoices. If you see 3 dots here, if I hit on change, let's see what it changed. Does it allow us to change everything or something else? If I hit change here, basically I'm getting the header option here to change the values and the line level also. If I just want to make it like, let's say 250, I want to change the amount, I'll hit submit here. And it got submitted. If you look at the process, no more actions are required because we had proxy asterisks around only. If you look at this invoice now, the amount got changed to 250 here. Update invoice lines. The first option was giving us to change everything, be it header or the line level. What does this do? Update invoice. You can choose as per your requirement. Suppose you have to change the header information, then you go with the change option. We just want to change the line level, then you go with this option. Whatever I'm modifying at the line level, that will also affect the header level also. Right now we have one invoice here, line here, that is 250, right? Overall invoice amount is 250. I'm changing the line level. If I want to make it 150, I can do that too. Now if I hit submit, and you see here it got submitted and the total invoice amount is back to the 150. Now let's look at some other features. If you want to copy this invoice, we can do that too. Let's say it's the same thing. I'll just make it like 1500 here. Just make it unique. And I hit submit. We've got another invoice for 1500 here. Let's see what the other options we have here. Create a credit and rebuild. If you want to create a credit of this and rebuild the customer, first of all, we'll see the balance, overall balance of the customer. That means just go to the Reliance details. Right now the balance is $219.70. We'll go to invoicing payments. We'll go to invoices in 70. That's the invoice. We'll use that option now. Create credit and rebuild. Credit adjustment reason, let's say other terms. We'll hit here. And this time we'll change the amount to 1400 here. And hit submit. It's done. Now let's see. With the rebuild, it will show the credentials as RB. Rebuild here. Reliance Hotels now. The amount you can see it was $209.70. As we have created another invoice with just 1400, the amount go to $218.70. Now if you look at that original invoice, we have this one, original invoice. Then we have a credit of 1500 here, right? It knocks off this one, and this will happen in the invoice. Credit was just to knock off the original invoice. And then we just created one more, which is a rebuild. If you look at this, other options here. If you want to cancel some invoice, let's say, let me just first copy this invoice, and we'll see how present backed up this. Right now the balance is $218.70. I'll just copy this, and we'll just make it like the 100 here. Let it submit. Again, the proxy access of some of the invoice. This is done. Invoice number is 70. Now if you look at the balance, before we cancel it, it's $219.70. Notices in payments. No. And now if I just cancel this, it's cancelled unpaid. Now if we go back to Reliance Hotels, the balance should go back to $208.70. No impact on the overall balance. Now let me just copy this invoice to see some more features. Let's go back to the balance. It's approved. Invoice number is 80. We'll go back here. You can add a note here in this invoice. From this retraction, you can put a full update, say 31st, to check if the customer has seen the items of our is it here. You can do that under the notes section. You will see your notes also and a follow-up date also. This one is done. Then you can add attachment as a simple one. Right now we are selecting by default as immediately, but we can change the payment terms as per our requirements. This customer says no, I'll be paying like next 20 days. You can go ahead and make the changes in the invoice and we'll say the due date will be now next 20 days. Now we'll see. Our attachment is simple one. Now edit approved invoice. Sometimes we will know I had raised that question with working on this one also. Why edit approved invoice? If I just click on this, it will just give you one field to change the value. That's all. It doesn't give the entire field UI to change the values. We'll cancel here. It doesn't make any sense. We'll cancel here. We'll go back to 3 dots. Then hold from payment. Suppose there is some issue or you are having some dialogue or discussion with the customer and the payment terms are immediate, but you want to hold this for a specific reason from the payment. Then you can do, if you do that, hold from payment option. And you can put a follow-up date, like when you want to have a next discussion with the customer, it here. This will show an option here, hold. But if you see the overall balance, that will still be like 270, because we are not saying we are not getting this money from, because we are just. If you want to revert this thing, then you go back to the action. Just be wise and click on this allow payment. Only for those invoice this option, where we have put the payment on. Then maintain dispute. There's a dispute with the terms and conditions or the items got delivered, or like there's a like email saying there's a dispute with the amount or something. We'll click on this, maintain dispute here, and then we'll select this option in dispute. Then what is the next follow-up date to have a reward with the customer? We'll just put like 30th. And what is the overall amount? The invoice amount is like 200. Let's say you have a dispute for $50 on the right, and the dispute reason, active dispute reasons not satisfied. Something like this, we can speak it up randomly. The invoice now will say an option called in dispute. All the details are same. It's just in dispute, the amount is we're going to maintain dispute again. Uncheck this one and hit. Again, nothing here. That is gone. Now let's go back to the action here. Maintain collection. If you're in a process of collecting the money from the client, they are giving different dates, example, excuses, whatever it is. You can put a different collection date here, and let's say payment amount promised by the client is 150. Collection code would be, let's say, all collection codes. Second notice, whatever it is, and it's done. It will show in collection here. Now let's go back and put a noise. We're going to maintain collection. We'll see related action. We don't want to change it. It does got triggered by mistake. It's cancelling this once again. Come on. Let's refresh the page. Then there was an option called Maintain Letter Exclusion. I told you lettering is nothing but like sending a warning or legal notice to the client that you know. But if you want to exclude this particular customer or invoice from that, you can do. This invoice will not show up in your lettering letter. That I'll show you later on. Now the last option you should think of, because others I'll show you in a minute. This one is like print customer invoice. If you want to print this customer invoice and send it to the customer, you can do. This invoice is printed, and then once you click on this email customer invoice, it will email the invoice on the primary address of the customer. This is a standard format designed by Workday, but this is not how original invoice customer invoice looks like, because we would be doing a lot of like customization, and that is done by the integration guys or the people who know a tool called Workday Studio. That's a designing tool which you use to design all these layouts and PDFs, and that's what you send to the client. It's very colorful, more informative. A lot of other information. This is a pretty standard, straightforward layout, but that's not what we use. This is just to show you how it looks like when you send it to the client. But in reality, in the real world, it will be more colorful, designed better way, and have more information. Now, if you go back, if suppose you want to retrieve this PDF copy again, it's very easy. Go to your customer invoice and there will be a section called Printing Runs, and there will be always there for you to retrieve. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.